The topic of my research paper is use of pinyin-based typing as a primary method to teach Chinese in high school. The reason that I came up with this research topic is because as a high school Chinese teacher, I face challenges of dropping rate of enrolled students learning Chinese. Use the school I'm working as an example that the students, the highest number from around 15 to now only 7. The biggest complaint of the students is handwriting. It takes too much time because traditionally, if you want to learn Chinese, you must learn stroke-based handwriting Chinese character, and it demands tremendous cognitive resources and time. And the traditional stroke-based method also doesn't really meet the standards of Equifax 5C because it takes too much time of rote memorization and repeating, copying. The time should be used to build a community and establish verbal communication is taken away. And this method is also overly reliant on rote memorization, which the students outside of China, they are not used to. My research questions are, can the pinyin-based typing approach achieve expected learning outcome at the word recognition and word retention level? Will the pinyin-based typing approach lead to better reading comprehension compared to the handwriting approach? And the third, is the pinyin approach nurturing positive attitude toward the Chinese learning? The literature review supports that Chinese language is one of the most hard language for the students with only English or alphabetic letter as a language background, because the Chinese language is a logographic language. It has the longest social distance and the format distance from the CFL students. Here, CFL students, I want to say, is called the Chinese Learning as a Foreign Language students. First, let me briefly introduce the Chinese language. It is logographic, and it is the morphology is each Chinese character can form a word. Two or Chinese characters can form a new word without a new meaning. Phonology is a pinyin system to support the pronunciation. Orthography is each Chinese character is formed by radicals. Students need to memorize the stroke orders and stroke numbers. A cognitive process to building the world bank differs among the students who are using handwriting approach or using pinyin approach. Let's get to an example. This character is pronounced as fu, meaning blessing and fortune. It is very commonly seen in China on the door of each family. If you are using handwriting approach, a student must write this character from here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 strokes from top to bottom, left to right. Even they copy it, it doesn't mean that they know how to pronounce it. They remember the shape of it, and they may know the meaning of it, but they may not know the pronunciation. But if we use pinyin type approach, we type 祝福, and then a bar of word and phrases selection will pop up on the screen. Then according to the context, the student can pick this phrase as the word they want. In this way, it is more efficient than write it stroke by stroke. Based on the examples, we can see native speakers' cognitive route is orthography, morphology, and phonology, while CFL students' cognitive route, if they use pinyin approach, will be phonology, pronunciation, morphology, and how many characters, and then the last is the shape, orthography. And the native speakers, they can use handwriting to learn Chinese characters because their verbal communication were compensated by the daily social interaction in Chinese, while CFL students don't have the time, the social cultural environment as native speakers do. And also CFL students don't see the expected progress in the traditional handwriting approach. Educators and teachers have noticed this difference, and they also done some researches outside of China and inside China. Two researches done outside of China, one is by Lu, 2019, compared two groups of college CFL students at novice level on a 6-week Chinese course. The group without handwriting outperformed the group with the handwriting practice. Zhang also conducted a long-term research in a private university in United States, and with pinyin approach, pinyin-based input performed significantly better than the group with handwriting approach. While the researchers done in China found totally different results. Chen, 2020, did a survey among 13 to 15-year-old middle school students to find the effect on using pinyin input. The findings confirmed the hypothesis that using pinyin input will lower the literacy level. Xu, in 2020, did a research on second and fourth grade students and supported the previous belief that handwriting plays a positive role on the Chinese character recognition and retention. So the results are totally different. But I also noticed there is no research targeting on the middle schoolers or high schoolers. That's why I came up with this action research. The method is action research. And the pros is it is a collaborative process between a researcher and the students. Teacher is the researcher. And it's a deliberate process of reflective learning, focus on the research questions. It's flexible and reflective. The downside is it is hard to control variables such as the number of students, participants as assumed participants, really depending on the year by year enrollment, and how to validify the the findings, and also because the teacher is a researcher, that they might lead to biased findings. In my action research, the participants will be enrolled students without prior knowledge of Chinese language, aged 14 to 18, and this research will last 38 weeks. The data collection will have classroom observation, writing daily log, and then that to track their linguistic performance, we'll have online testing, weekly online testing, 4 types: matching English with Chinese, typing Chinese with given English, word scramble, and reading comprehension. The data collection that also include online survey, a 2-time online surveys, respectively on week 19 and week 38, to inquire the feedback on the program setting, including the questions on paying-based input and the students' satisfactory level. And the in-person interview allow the teacher to probe on the in-depth questions. The data analysis will be descriptive, and ethnical considerations, that because that the participants are 14 to 18-year-old high school students, they will get they and their parents need to sign a consent form. The things expect to learn from this action research is whether pinyin typing approach reaches the similar academic and linguistic performance of CFL beginners, and whether this approach can boost the motivation and the interest of the students, and whether this can be an effective alternative approach to teaching Chinese in high schools outside of China. And also that things to learn can be learned from this research proposal is the teacher adapted learnings of action research to improve the efficiency of teaching Chinese, and also whether there's an implication on adapting a new, different, alternative pedagogy based on the student's linguistic background and the social background. And then that if this action research can be repeated, how to control the variables. This is my reference list. Here is my presentation. Thank you for your time.